Hi guys, so welcome to the video. Today we're going to talk about how you're going to make the golf ball spin on the green. How you're going to make it land, stop, spin back, check, everything you want it to do once it lands on the green. We're going to talk about the technical aspects first, and then we're going to talk about, in my opinion, the secret to getting more backspin. So stay tuned for the end of the video to get to that point. Technique-wise, so how to create a good strike to get the golf ball to spin back. And that's what it honestly comes down to, is striking the golf ball well, making sure that we hit the ball first and hitting the ground after. That is key. That is absolutely essential. If we hit too far behind the golf ball, the grass and the ground gets in the way. We can't create any traction, we can't create any friction to actually create any backspin. So, to actually create backspin on a strike standpoint, I've just got my 56-degree wedge here. We have to make sure that we keep the centre of our swing slightly to the left of the golf ball as we make contact. So we're trying to hit the ball first and the floor after. We're trying to keep our low point. So imagine your golf swing is a big circle. The bottom of that circle is your lowest point. We want to move that lowest point beyond the golf ball. So we want to hit the ball first and the floor after. To do that, in our setup position, we would like to see with a wedge the sternum directly over the top of the golf ball. Now some golfers out there might turn the feet to the left, turn it to the right, have it square, narrow, wider. It doesn't really matter what your feet are doing. We're just aiming to get the sternum, the middle of your body, directly over the top of the golf ball. Now from there, it's important that we keep the sternum, the centre of our swing, over the top of the golf ball. As soon as we start moving it to the right, we're going to end up fatting the golf ball and not being able to get the traction what we talked about before. We want to keep the sternum over the top of the ball. As we come down, we want to move the sternum slightly to the left. So making sure we hit the ball, then the floor after. So sternum over the top, sternum to the left, and we're going to hit the ball first and then the floor after. You can tell by the strike of that, it was ball first and then the mat, the floor, the grass after. That's how you're going to create the spin. That's how you're going to create the strike anyway to create the spin. So that's the technical point of things there, without question. However, I believe there is a much greater side of making a golf ball spin, much greater. And it's not as much about what you're actually doing as a golfer, but the conditions and how you present the best possible way to create lots and lots of backspin. So you might watch on tour, you might watch the PGA Tour, the European Tour. The golfers create an awful lot of backspin when they're out on the TV. There's reasons for that. There is reasons, legitimate reasons. First reason, the equipment that they're using. So the grooves are sharp, they're clean, they're new, they're the latest technology. Now, you might look at this after this video, go and have a look at your sand wedge and have a look at the grooves and notice, is there any dirt, is there any debris in the grooves? If there is, you won't create the backspin. The grooves can't work if there's debris in it. The other thing is, do I still have depth to the grooves? So if you're looking at your wedge and actually saying, oh, actually, my grooves aren't as deep as what they were. They're not going to be as they were brand new. But have you still got enough depth to your grooves to create the spin? That's really important. So you need clean grooves and sharp, deep grooves. No, all conforming to regulation, that is. So that's number one. That's absolutely important. The next biggest factor is the golf ball that we use. So the golf ball can make the golf material, the material that we make on a golf ball can make a golf ball spin more than other brands and manufacturers. So you'd like to, if you want ultimate spin, if you want to get that golf ball spinning back on the green, you've got to use quite a premium ball. So you need to use a soft cover, kind of the best of the best. Like I said, your Pro V1s, your Penta golf balls, your TaylorMade, your Srixon Z-Star. You need to be using those golf balls that have a softer cover. Ask your golf shop, ask your pro shop, ask your golf superstores, which cover, which golf ball is going to create the most spin. Now, you have to balance that out slightly. If you're a golfer who curves the ball a lot off the tee, so if you slice it or hook it, be careful about using a golf ball that's going to spin more, because that's going to exaggerate your left and right shots a little bit. So you've got to be careful about that. If you're a golf ball that hits the ball relatively straight, then yes, maybe invest in a softer golf ball. So that's another important factor. So we've got clean grooves, sharp grooves, premium golf ball. The next factor, if you're going to realistically get lots of spin on the golf ball and make that ball stop on the green and even suck back, spin backwards, you've got to be hitting it off a good surface. So the surface you're hitting off has to be firm, has to be well cut, so really short grass. If there's any grass that gets in between, the grooves and the club and the ball, the spin will get diluted. You won't create as much traction off the face. So that's really important. It's got to be well cut, really, so fairways, and relatively firm. If it's too soft, again, that club could have a tendency of just digging into the floor slightly, and again, diluting how much spin you can actually get, how much traction. Finally, the last thing, and this is important, you might have done all of those areas. You might have a brand new wedge. You might have a brand new soft cover golf ball. You might be hitting it off the most superb fairway, well-cut fairway. The last factor, if you want to see real backspin, it depends on the green itself. And that is honestly, that's fact. If the green is really hard or really slow, the ball won't spin. It won't be able to suck backwards. The ideal conditions is you want a green that's actually taking pitch marks, so it's got a little bit of give in it, it's a little bit softer, and a really fast green. So you want a fast, slightly receptive, soft green, and that's the way you're going to create lots of backspin. So we talked about the technical aspects at the start of the video, but the secret to creating more backspin is more about the equipment and the actual makeup of the shot, as opposed to it being the actual technique. Guys, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Comment down below, let us know how you get on with that. Next time you're on that perfect condition, I want to see those balls spinning back. And just be careful. If you're not reaching the hole, you might not want to spin it back too much. You might spin it off the green, and that's not great for you. But if you want to get the ball stopping, these are the conditions you need to do. You can check out my top tip playlist just up in the corner here, guys. Full of my top tips, how to help you improve your golf game. Please do subscribe by clicking the link down below, and we'll see you all soon.